Welcome to the Aura Evolution Podcast, a sacred place for you to return home to your soul. I'm Helen Plan, founder of Helen Creates Beauty and the author of the Aura Color Wheel. This podcast is a sanctuary from soul discovery to soul mastery. Each week, we explore aura wisdom, spirit connection, and energy tools to help you embody your light and live your soul's purpose with clarity, joy, and fulfillment. Take a deep breath. Welcome home.
Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to the Aura Evolution Podcast. This podcast is live every Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific time on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, as well as audios across all platforms on Tuesday morning. I am your host, Helen Plan. I believe that your soul has a story, and I believe that your soul has a color, and that color tells a story. And my work, it's all about discovering your soul, embody your light, and express it beautifully. And I'm the author of the Aura Color Wheel and the founder of Helen Creates Beauty. It's a system to identify your soul's purpose through your unique soul aura color. If you haven't taken the soul aura color course on my website, I encourage you to do so. There you discover your soul's true color and what it says about your gifts, wounds, and lessons. And the website is helencreatesbeauty.com. So last Friday, I hosted a biggest annual event that I do. It's called Discover Your Soul's Blueprint. It was absolutely beautiful. 321 souls signed up for this event, and we map out our soul's evolution blueprint together. So if you haven't, if you didn't, participate live, you are welcome to watch the recording. And let me know what do you think about your soul's evolution blueprint. It's absolutely beautiful event. Now, very exciting announcement before we go deeper into today's topic, how to embody your most authentic self. My biggest annual signature course called Embody Your Light is now open for enrollment. And the enrollment time is limited. So I'm going to put the link in the comment so you can check out all the details and enroll with us. And it's a live 10-week sacred journey that we are going to discover your soul's purpose, really remove all the energetic blockages that's, blocking you from embodying your light. And then we are going to have the transformation after 10 weeks on the other side. So super exciting. And it's my signature course that I've been teaching for the past 8 years. Oh no, this is the 8th year. So last 7 years. And some of you have become, Aura Color Wheel practitioners. So I can't wait to see you inside and walk side by side with you with your soul's discovery journey. So actually an embodiment journey as well. So today, that's exactly the topic that we're going to cover. How to embody your most authentic self. And this is actually the 4th pillar that is the foundation or the philosophy of Embody Your Light course. I would say that knowing your authentic self and embodying your authentic self are 2 different things. So knowing who you are or actually living that version of you are very different things, if you agree with me, right? You can know your gifts, you can know your wounds, your purpose, you can even receive spirit guidance, yourself. However, actually living that as a person, the most authentic version of you, now this requires some work, right? And that's exactly what the Aura Color Wheel path is all about. If you go to my website, helencreatesbeauty.com, you know that there is an Aura Color Wheel path where I talk about first you discover, so you know yourself, and then you need to activate that inner knowing. So that's why I also have the activate your Radiant Aura course, where you begin to hear yourself. You hear the intuition instead of the external noises or other advice from your parents, societies, culture, friends, family. You begin to actually listen to your own truth. And that's when you begin to embody. And that's when you trust yourself. Instead of seeking outside, you're now seeking inward. And that's when you trust yourself and then finally express yourself. And that's when your most authentic self comes out. That's when you express your gift fully, right? So I'm going to show you a graphic that, because I am an artist. So to me, a visual speak better than 1,000 words, right? So I'm going to show it to you, that a graphic that I work on, that kind of representing what I'm going to talk about today. These I call the 4 pillars of soul aligned living. So literally how to embody your most authentic self. And I channel this wisdom actually during the Lionsgate portal. So August 8 portal last year, 2025. When I was in Nashville, actually having a podcast interview with Jessica Reich. And I was in the Athena temple. It's a replica of the Greek Athena temple. And that's actually what I visualize or what I download from my spirit team. I've been asking this question of how, can I guide my students through a journey that they can fully really embody their light, because at a soul level, you are light. You make of the 7 light energy, right? So, and then this is what I see or what I visualize in my vision, in my third eye vision. I talk about discover, activate, embody, and express, right? So discover is about knowing yourself, the clarity. That's pillar 1. You need to know yourself. And I always use this Lao Tzu saying that knowing others is wise, knowing yourself is enlightenment. It's actually in the first page of my book, and it's a model that I live by. It's literally the path towards enlightenment, because at the soul level, if you are light, right? And then working these 7 layers of light or aura layers of light body, that's literally the path towards enlightenment. And the activation is about your soul and spirit guidance. Remember to hear yourself, to love yourself as you are divine, right? So that's why I mentioned about meditation is such an important practice, because prayer is how you talk to God and meditation is how you listen to God. In order to get rid of all the external noises, then finally, follow your soul's guidance, you need to be quiet, right, in order to receive it. So that's what soul and spirit guidance is about. And pillar 3 is sovereignty. Remember, I mentioned that sometimes, at the very beginning, I said that knowing your authentic self and living your authentic self are very 2 different things, right? So you know all this knowledge, but you are still not doing it. Why? Most likely it's because you lack of sovereignty. Now, what does it mean? Sovereignty, it really just means of free from all the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual preconditionings that you get from your parents, your society, your school, your friends, any expectations of you, right? If you get back to your childhood, like carefree self, what are you choosing to do? That's the question, because we grow up with so many expectations and, all these what is shoulds, not shoulds, and judgments and all of that. And that places us in a not really sovereign area, right? So that's why we almost need to peel out all the conditionings and coming back to our own self. And that's when we can make aligned actions, or sometimes I call it non-actions. As long as it's a conscious choice, you are able to make the decision and choose the action or non-actions that's aligned with your soul. And you need to do it consistently. You cannot just say that today I feel good, so I choose the best action towards my soul. And tomorrow I don't feel as good, so I'm not going to do that anymore, right? And that's when you are really at the state of expressing your most authentic self. Now, if you want to live in your most authentic way, this is pretty much all the 4 pillars that you need to embody your light. Now, however, this is not a linear process. Although I show you like 4 pillars here because I literally was channeled at the temple, Athena temple in Nashville, but it doesn't mean that it's like 4 steps. It's not linear, meaning that you can, do the action first and then you gain the clarity, right? And then because you are embodying more and more of yourself, you see your divine self, and then you realize that you can connect with your soul and spirit team in that way. There is it's all interconnected. All right. So one fits into another, or both or 3 of them fits into another. So it's not just one linear process. And this is actually the path of Aura Color Wheel. If you have the book, or if you participate in any of my courses, that's actually the philosophy I talk about. It's the foundation of all my teaching, and also about my work, right? So, and also the expression is, through artwork. To me, it's through art, right? So that's why I offer soul aura color portraits and crystal grid paintings to express your soul's divine essence. So this is the 4 pillars that we are going to discuss a little bit deeper today. So you understand that, knowing yourself and embodying your most authentic self, how do you get there, right? So I'm going to take off the graphic, because sometimes I find that, image, it really helps to clarify of what we're talking about. And no worries if you are listening to the audio, you can always go back to the YouTube channel to just take a peek of the graphic. So, okay. So first of all, what is clarity, right? If it's clarity is so important, I would like to tell you this. What I discovered in my first 20 some years of my life, now I'm 43, right? So I know a little bit about life at this point. It's that if you don't know yourself at a soul level, other people will make choices for you. Let me repeat this sentence and you think about it a little bit. Pause for a second. If you don't know yourself at a soul level, other people will make choices for you. That's what happened to me in my first 20 some years, because your parents will, the society, the culture, the school, the friends, and all the expectations will place on you. And it becomes like you think that's supposed to happen. Okay. So I would like to ask you this question. And then you can ponder upon it even after this podcast episode. It's something that you can definitely walk away with. Who am I underneath everything I've been taught to be? Who am I underneath everything I've been taught to be? Okay, that's the first question for you to think about. Because from my birth to 2011, I would say that I was completely asleep. I wasn't able to really pinpoint what I really want in my life. I just follow my parents' expectations of me, thinking that, if I get all A's and all the way to my PhD degree, marry a good husband, get a high-paying job, then my life will be all set. So pretty much my whole life early on, my choices are based on my parents' expectations, the society's expectations, what's the cultural norm, okay? I wasn't really thinking about, what I really want or who I really am. And guess what? In 2011, that's when I hit my rock bottom. I would call my dark night of the soul, because I was suffering deep anxiety and depression with a ER visit of panic attacks. That was during my PhD study, and I almost graduated and got a high-paying job and, engaged to my current husband. So from the outside world, everything sounds great, but it wasn't, right? So if you ask this question as early as possible, so probably you can avoid that dark night of your soul episode in your life. It will happen. It will occur at some point in your life, it depending on when. Some of my classmates, it happened during their college years because I can see them begin to ask this question, like, who am I? Why am I here? How can I truly be happy? But I wasn't, I was still asleep. I was just want to get my A's, so I don't care about all those questions, right? And that's when I become a really avid student of spirituality, to find now who am I really, right? So 2011, I went into a very deep self-healing and self-discovery journey. The first stop, I think some of you already know my original story. It's like I went to a yoga and meditation teacher training and did my first Vedic astrology reading. The astrologer know more about myself than I know myself. Then I realized that self-knowledge is really the key, right? Because the Vedic astrologer told me that my dharma, or my soul's purpose this lifetime, is to create. And at the time, I wasn't doing anything creative because I was born an artist, so gift archetype, but I was doing a researcher, so gift archetype job, right? So no wonder I wasn't happy, because I was out of alignment. So from that time on, I actually study and certify. I study at the level of the PhD in all kinds of spiritual wisdom to discover of the self, including Western and Vedic astrology, Enneagram, numerology, human design, genie keys, astrocartography, as well as later on, I even developed the oracular system myself. Because I've been students of all of the spiritual wisdom to discover the self. And I also, because of my meditation practice, I understand that self-awareness is also key to this clarity. Remember, the pillar one of embodying your most authentic self is to know yourself. Knowing yourself, it's in general, it's like a cosmic map. That's why I offer the cosmic blueprint reading that I channel with Archangel Metatron, synthesize all of this spiritual wisdom to understand yourself in a practical guide. That's the first step, right? And then the second step, or it's a lifelong practice, is self-awareness. You need to be aware of, what's influencing you. Why are you feeling, what is your emotional state? I'm feeling this. Okay. Oh, why am I feeling this way? Right? Or what is my mental thoughts? What am I thinking? And is this really my thought, or is my parents talking, or it's my friends talking, or is the society's talking, or just like some Facebook ads talking? Right? So you become more observant and self-aware. Now that's another practice that while you are doing more and more meditation practice, you can cultivate. That's also really important, because again, knowing yourself is enlightenment. I literally have a journal, ever since I begin my self-study, I literally have a journal of self-study. So I highly recommend you, if you want to commit to really embody your authentic self, the first step is really to know yourself and have a journal of self-study. Like today I had this thought, today I had this emotion. Anything that's significant to you, you can explore it. You can journal about it. You can meditate about it. You can observe your patterns. Some things forming patterns. It seems like, around this time of the year, I tend to do this, right? So, and of course, meditation will get you into a habit of self-reflection. All of these are good practices for you to really understand yourself. And again, going back to the question that when I discovered the first pillar, clarity, is I want to ask you, or you can journal about this question. Who am I? Believe everything I've been taught to be. Who am I? Believe everything I've been taught to be. Okay, now that's kind of pillar one. Again, it's not linear, all right? So pillar two, about really embodying your most authentic self, it's you need to hear yourself. So you need to hear your soul's guidance. Okay. your soul, or I call it your higher self, or however you want to name it, right? It's the I am presence. That's why diamond shape. Even wearing a diamond shaped necklace with a phoenix in the middle. So that's what I see when I meditate in my third eye vision, a diamond. And that particular shape or sacred geometric, it's actually the shape of your higher self, or the I am presence. And it's your soul, and that's like internal and full of wisdom. So I would say that every questions that you seek guidance for, your soul already has the answer. Seriously, like every question you want answer for, you first need to ask your soul. Not immediately. Like, it's good to gather data, to do some research, to hear different advice, but at the end of the day, the one who makes the decision, it has to come from your soul. And sometimes I call it your spirit team, okay? Because all of us has a team of spirit guides working with us simultaneously between 5 to 9. Some of them, I call them the homies, that they are there with you all your life, like your guardian angel. But some of them are temporary guides, like expert guides that comes in here to help you with a certain project and leave, okay? And those are the 9 types of spirit guides I talk about in the Oracle Wheel book. And there is an episode in this particular podcast also talks about it. I'm going to drop a link there that you can see how you can connect with your spirit team. And now the thing is that once you begin knowing yourself, you also have to learn how to hear yourself. That's the key. That's about the soul and spirit team connection. As I mentioned, prayer is how you talk to God. Meditation is how you listen to God. That's why the more quiet that you can get, or the more contemplative or slowing down that you can get during your day, the easier that you can hear your intuition. All right. If you don't believe anything woo or spirit team, you just think, oh, that might be just your intuition, then use intuition. It's the same thing. Okay. Now, but I want to let you know that intuition often arrives quietly and simply. Fear tends to be loud, repetitive, and demanding. Listen to this again. Intuition often arrives quietly, simply, and calmly. Fear tends to be loud, repetitive, and demanding. So what do you tend to hear first? Fear. We never hear our intuition at the beginning. Now, no matter how good you are, that's just a human condition. I don't know why our brain is just wired this way for survival, okay? We first hear our fearful thoughts. No matter how successful you are, if you hear so many, successful people do interviews and podcasts, you understand that no matter how successful, how great they are, they always have to face their own fear. That means what? That means fear is loud, okay? So, and it's okay. You let it come, and you hear it, and you sometimes I even say, thank you, fear, for warning me that. And that's it. But the real golden nugget is your intuition. Because your intuition is very subtle, and it's typically very calm and simple. It doesn't yell at you. It doesn't scream at you. So that's why you need to have that contemplative meditation practice in your daily life so that you can hear your intuition. And most often, sometimes actually my, intuition drops when I'm taking a bath, when I'm having a walk in nature, when I am just casually like sitting there doing nothing, right? Just enjoying the view and things like that. And that's when your inspiration or clarity comes. And you need to be prepared for it. So now I would, for this particular pillar, I would challenge you to not be constantly surrounded by noise. Because most of us, when we get bored, we want to search for our phone. Myself sometimes included, scrolling through Instagram or, Facebook, and, get stimulations. We go party, we go hang out with our friends, right? So it's really difficult for you to hear subtle energy. As I mentioned, subtle energy is subtle. if your day is packed of action, like every single minute of the time, you won't be able to hear your intuition. So that's why I would challenge you to ask, can I become quiet enough to hear what I already know? Your soul already knows. It has the answer. Your I am presence, your higher self, it knows the answer. Can I become quiet enough to hear what I already know? Important, okay? And also, I have another journal where I do automatic writing. I call it my date with my spirit team. You can call it whatever you like. And that's where I write down all the aha moment. Like I have a journal about self-study. I also have a journal about a date with my spirit guides or my soul, a date with my soul, a date with my intuition. Today, my intuition tells me that. Today, my intuition tells me that. I challenge you about that, right? And now all of us are innately psychic, okay? No matter you believe in woo or not, intuition is just a psychic ability, all right? Like, how do you hear that intuition or get that download? Now, different souls have different psychic abilities, that some are stronger in this way and some are stronger in the other way. If you have taken the soul oracular quiz, you understand what is your soul gift archetype. You also understand what is your strong soul aura color. The stronger aura layer you have, you tend to have that particular psychic ability, more stronger than the other way, okay? And it's tied to our senses because that's how we receive information as a human, okay? As a vessel, right? So if you have strong violet aura layer, your soul gift archetype can be artist, can be researcher, can be visionary, right? That means that you might be clairvoyant. So like you're able to see before, you're able to see the vision. Now, when I'm talking about you're able to see, it's your third eye vision, it's your inner vision, not your physical eye, okay? It's not like you're physically seeing something happen, but also you just get a vision of something, no matter how vague it is at the beginning. That's your clairvoyance talking. Now, if you have a strong blue aura layer, so your throat chakra, you might be clairaudient. Okay, clairaudience is about hearing, not physical ear hearing. Sometimes it feels like your inner ear. I'm not as much clairaudience because that's my soul wound. My blue aura layer is my soul wound. So I'm more of a clairvoyance. Now, clairaudience people are the entrepreneurs, teachers, right? You use your throat, and reformer. Those are the strong aura layer that related to clairaudience. And then if your heart chakra is your strong aura layer, that means you might be a healer, entertainer, or warrior, that you are clairsentient. You can sense, you almost like you have a relationship with another people. Even before you know this person, you already know how they feel. So you're clairsentient, right? You can feel, you can because you're a very compassionate person, right? Same with your mental body. Like if yellow aura layer, your mental body is one of your strong aura layers. Those are the entrepreneurs, healers. You have a strong gut instinct, right? It's like claircognizant. I also have claircognizant, meaning that you just know. It's inner knowing. It's clear knowing. You can't tell why you know. You just know, right? So that's basically what claircognizant is. And your sacral chakra, clairsentient or clear touching. Most of you like Reiki masters, that you have these senses, around your palm and things like that. That's emotional. Like you can relate to other people's emotions. You can use your palm to heal. Now that's your psychic ability of if sacral chakra is one of your strong aura layers, right? Your orange aura layer. And red aura layer, people are more physical, and sometimes they can touch an object of someone, a deceased person, and can tell the information about this deceased person's basically a variety, like the characteristics of the person, right? That's like physical object, as well as smell. Sometimes you can even smell, or for sacral chakra or orange aura layer, you can taste, So these are the senses that we inherently have, depending on when our soul is born, which aura layer is stronger, then we tend to have that psychic ability a little bit more, right? So and also connecting to our soul and connecting to our spirit team really put our vibrational frequency in unconditional love, because that's how spirit guides exist, in the vibrational frequency of unconditional love. And the more you do prayer, that's why prayer practices, right, how you connect with them is basically through prayer and meditation. And when you connect with them, you feel like you're part of the divine. So you just get more and more taste of that unconditional love frequency. Then you know that you're supported and you loved. A lot of students in my Embody Your Light course will come to me saying that, one of their biggest thing that they get from the course is being able to connect with their spirit team, that they know that they are not alone, that they know that they are supported and they are loved. And that alone, it's already helping you to get into the third pillar of trusting yourself. All right, that's sovereignty, so important. And it's just like, if you are part of the divine, then of course you are already being loved and supported. You are not alone, right? And the thing is that sometimes, after we receive this intuition or this guidance, we immediately talk ourselves out of it, because we use our logic. Oh, it doesn't make sense. Because sometimes our intuition really doesn't make sense at that time. It's like beyond our timeline, right? The information you receive, it's like, oh, it doesn't make sense right now. But it's like you for example, if you are leaving a place, it seems like pretty stable, and all of a sudden spirit or your soul asks you it's time to move. You're like, why? I don't understand, right? But you better take the action, right? Otherwise, something else is coming and you don't know yet. But however, more often than not, we talk ourselves out of this intuition guidance. We would say that, no, logically, leaving here makes sense because, I don't know, you list out 10 different reasons that you should stay. And then you realize that later on in life that you make a wrong decision. But it's okay. It's an experiment, right? It's an experiment. Are you going to listen to your intuition and act upon it? Or are you just you're just going to talk yourself out of it? So now that's the question. A lot of people like, okay, now I know myself. I have self-study. Now I meditate. I receive my spirit team's guidance, or I receive my soul's guidance. I listen to my intuition. If you don't believe in spirit guides and all that, that's okay. And why you're not taking the action according to your intuition, the problem is pillar 3, sovereignty. You do not have completely sovereignty yet. So sovereignty is basically freedom of choice. You're completely independent, but you are not. Why? Because you might still have, past soul contracts, or you still live in your parents' on your society's expectations, or the culture that raised you up, because culturally that's what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. So you need to unpeel all of these conditioning, either from your physical plane, your physical inheritance from your ancestors, as well as your mental and emotional patterns that you get from your ancestors. You might have some inner child trauma that's caused by your parenting style, your parents' parenting style, right? Or you have some defensive system that you created for survival when you're a child, as well as some spiritual wounding that's either from your past lifetime or a karmic cycle, that you have some soul contract with other souls that you haven't finished, that karma, right? Like all of these together makes up what's the conditioning to not being solvent. So in order to be completely solvent, meaning that you just think about it, you're like, it's really hard to imagine, Helen, right? Then imagine when you are a child and you have complete freedom, you haven't started your homework or school and whatsoever yet. What were you doing at the time? If you have completely free choice? Or I can ask you this question, like, whose voice is making the decision? My soul or my conditioning? When you make a decision, you can ask yourself, whose voice is making this decision? My soul's or my conditioning? Okay, so sovereignty doesn't mean that nobody influences you. It means that other people's conditioning no longer gets the final vote. Very important. Sovereignty doesn't mean nobody influences you. It means other people's conditioning no longer gets the final vote. Because you're so crystally clear of what's influencing you, and it's okay, you can make the decision if to let that influence get to you or not. And once you can make that clear choice, that's when your sovereign being comes back. Okay? And that's also when you begin to trust yourself. Self-trust is such a key for living an authentic self. Like if you don't even trust yourself, you will never being able to embody the most authentic version of yourself, because we're all born of uniquely. We are all quirky in our own way. If we are not trusting ourselves enough, we're not bold enough to make the choices that's best for ourselves, nobody will. You are the only person who's able to do so. Okay, so that's why I would encourage you to contemplate on this question. What do I do with that knowing? So now next time when you receive an intuition, when you receive a guidance from your higher self, your soul, or your spirit team, you can ask yourself, what do I do with that knowing? Or whose voice is making this decision? My soul or my conditioning? Okay. Now, this is a very important part of our soul's journey. So in the aura color wheel system, that's pretty much our soul wound and our soul lessons. And that's typically what's preventing us moving forward to or returning back to our sovereign self, right? In the aura evolution framework. So that's also what's in Embody Your Light. This is a pillar that I spend most of the time. That's my signature course that just opened for enrollment in the comment link. So in the course, I go through how to rewiring your limiting beliefs that you adopt when you're growing up as a child. How do you heal your inner child and manage your emotions and not let that trigger you, so that you are acting with clarity instead of reaction, right? And how do you work with Archangel Michael on your home to cord cutting all the soul contract that bows you down, as well as karmic wounding and past life ancestral traumas that you experience that no longer serve your highest good in your auric field. So all of these are the energetic blockages that we want to remove so that we can return to our soul and self, so that we can act as the most authentic version of ourselves. And this is a big part of, Embody Your Light. Like, how do you work through your soul wounds and soul lessons? And this is actually one of the most asked questions from my students, is once you discover your soul aura color, that's your discover, right? Once you meditate, and connect with your spirit team, how do I act consistently that's towards my soul's highest good? It's to heal your soul wound and learn your soul lessons. How? In Embody Your Light, I teach you every single step of the way. Now, the last pillar of living your most authentic version of yourself, in the diagram I just showed you, is action or non-action based on your conscious choice, right? That's how you can express yourself or be yourself freely. Now, you don't embody your authentic self through what you know. You embody your authentic self through what you repeatedly choose. Again, you don't embody your authentic self through what you know. You embody your authentic self through what you repeatedly choose. Every align yes, every align no, every boundary, conversation, or creation, or decision to move, as well as decisions to wait. All of these are important, repeated, daily, consistently action that you need to take that's aligned with your soul's truth. And sometimes your soul will say yes and gold, and sometimes your soul will say that wait is not the good time. Sometimes your soul will say speak. And remember, your intuition is quiet and calm. Okay, they don't yell at you. Do not listen to that yelling voice of your fear. your fear voice always yells, and your intuition will just be quiet, right? And then it will say create. They come to me, they always have this tiny little word that's kind of weak even to me. Like I can hear my intuition or connect with my spirit team all the time, but it's very subtle. And sometimes they will say rest. Recently, that's what they've been telling me, and this past weekend I've been resting a lot. After the Friday event, I give out a lot of energy, so I've been resting. Okay, so soul aligned living isn't about constantly doing. Ding ding. It's about constantly choosing what is aligned with your soul. Soul aligned living isn't about constantly doing. It's about consistently choosing what is in alignment with your soul. Important. Okay. Now, how we act in terms of action and non-action, how we naturally act is influenced by a few things, right? Of course, how you were raised in your family, what's deemed to be norm or not normal, right? Just like because I was raised by a non-stop mom, so the typical norm, or most of us, feels like we need to be constantly doing something. And if we're not doing something, it's like something is going wrong. No, it's because you just need to rest. Okay. Now I've learned that. Now I finally learned it, right? But it took us a few. That's why people are always hustling and they will always burn out, especially entrepreneurs. But I'm telling you that listening to your intuition, it's probably the best guidance I would give you. And also depends on your Mars sign, where is your Mars in your which house in astrology, in Western astrology. My Mars in the second house of Virgo. So my type of action tend to be, planning, organization, and then go. And also depending on your numerology, life path number, as well as your Enneagram type, right? So it's a mix of factors, how you naturally act. So that's going back to self-study, that clarity. How do I normally act? What's my tendency, right? Am I doing this towards my soul's guidance or not, right? All of these are also your soul gift archetype. What type of, what is your soul gift archetype, or how you naturally act can be different. So we become freer to express our gifts as we are leaning towards of how we naturally act and respond. All right. So just like in human design, if you are a generator, it's probably better for you to wait for invitation rather than tracing. Okay. So there are different ways to understand what's the best course of action for us. Okay. And it's interesting because this month I am actually talking about how to have a consistent action plan to embody your most authentic self inside the Aura Evolution Sanctuary membership. It's a membership that we meet on a monthly basis, that we have a theme that we talk about each month that I channel with my spirit team, and I guide you through grounded action. It literally is about practice and embodiment, not just knowledge. So if you're interested in joining the discussion with us this month and practice taking conscious action and embodying your future self, the Aura Evolution Sanctuary is for you. And right now, actually, the first month is free. I'm just running this promotion for a few more months, and then it will be gone. So if you want to join us, it's on this month. We're going to meet on Thursday. This Thursday, September 3rd at 10 a.m. Pacific time. So consider joining us to take the action towards that, right? And from then on, the next month we're going to meet on Wednesday, every first Wednesday of the week. But just this month, it's going to be on Thursday. And it's a growing library of content that you can go back. I think we'll talk about how to connect with your spirit team. And every month I have a guided meditation for you as well. So that's those are the 4 pillars that I discussed, how to embody your authentic self. Now, this channel, this wisdom, I personally practice it, and I've been teaching the Embody Your Light course for the past 7 years. So I witnessed, hundreds of students using that, and it's a proven system that pretty much is a sustainable way to consistently become the most authentic version of yourself. And I've tried different frameworks, and none of them is long lasting as this one. And as I mentioned, that is very important. The 4 pillars, clarity, spirit guidance or soul guidance, sovereignty, as well as action and non-action, they are not linear. It's not 4 steps. It's I would say it's almost like a cycle, like a circle, and they interact with each other, right? Sometimes it's like that linear way, and sometimes you might need to take action before you gain enough clarity. So sometimes we must act first. We might not fully understand, right? We need to experience something, and then you understand that, oh, okay, this is so me. I would like to experience some more. And sometimes, okay, I experiment, and this is not me at all, right? So some of the experiences, you need to try it in order to know, to get out of that comfort zone, right? And that sometimes also healing creates clarity, like removing the conditions, because you used to think about the world in this way. You're so set in your own way that you didn't see there is another possibility. You didn't really gain that clarity piece of yourself. Only if you remove the conditioning from your ancestors, or even religion, or even childhood trauma, or past life wounding, that all of a sudden that huge fear that you cannot explain why, all of these, you need to remove that. Then you realize, aha, you all of a sudden get this aha moment, right? So clarity doesn't mean that it has to be the first step. There were different ways to get to that as well. So this 4 pillar is kind of intertwined, and they're dancing together. Okay. And the diamond shape, I'm just going to show the graphic one more time. The diamond shape in the center right here is the I am presence. That's your higher self. If you want to do a meditation, you can try. And actually, this is what I guided in the live event past Friday in the Discover Your Soul's Blueprint. It's your higher self, right? And that's why it's significant. It's even in my logo, actually, in my Helen Creates Beauty's logo. It isn't something I added simply because it looks beautiful. This is actually a vision I see when I meditate, and it's the golden white light in your soul. And for me, it represented the I am presence, the divine self, the higher self, and the light we already are. So this whole journey isn't about becoming someone that you are not. It's about removing what obscures the authentic light that's already there. And this is also the Aura Color Wheel path. To discover yourself, activate your light, embody your truth, and express your gifts. And this is also about knowing yourself, hearing yourself, trusting yourself, and being yourself. And that's exactly why I created Embody Your Light. And I dropped that in the chat or the comment, because in information alone didn't transform my life. I could study spirituality endlessly, but eventually I have to learn how to know myself, hear my guidance, trust what I was receiving, heal what was keeping me from following it, and make different choices in my actual life. And Embody Your Light is the container where you actually practice these 4 pillars: clarity, soul and spirit guidance, sovereignty, and soul aligned action. You're not simply learning more about who you are, you're practicing becoming the person your soul is calling you to be. And that's why, I truly invite you to join this path with me. And the enrollment is only open until September 15th. And if you are joining now before September 5th, like this Saturday, you're able to get a live, personalized aura evolution blueprint reading from me, because we are going together for the souls who join me before September 5th. We're going to have a new moon in Virgo sacred gathering. That's on September 10th. September 10th is new moon in Virgo. And at 10 a.m. Pacific time, we're going to gather together. I'm going to read your personal soul aura evolution blueprint, so you'll be able to kickstart your evolution journey with me starting on September 17th. It's a 10-week Thursday morning course from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. Pacific time live. And of course, all the courses are recorded. You can always watch the recording if you're not able to join us live. Now, for those of you who are tuning with us right now, and if you have any questions regarding the 4 pillars to embody your most authentic self, you're welcome to ask me any questions in the comment. And I hope to see you inside Embody Your Light. And for those of you who are not sure whether, Embody Your Light is a good fit, I also have the option to book a call with me, a consultation call with me, 30-minute call, answer 5 questions, and you're able to do that. Where to sign up? Yes, I had dropped the link in the chat. Maybe I need to drop it again. Probably you didn't see it before. So right here, all the detail is in this link, auracolorworld.com//embody your light 26. Or you can just go to my website homepage. Everything I offer is in my website homepage, helencreatesbeauty.com as well. Okay. And for those of you who still haven't taken the Soul Aura Color quiz, I highly recommend you to take the quiz on my website to figure out what your Soul Aura color is. And also, if you have gotten the you're very welcome, Jasmine. So if you have gotten a copy of the Aura Color Wheel book, you know that you receive 3 bonus gifts from me. You're able to join the Aura Color Wheel Circle. It's a private Facebook group where I host monthly live Q&A and spirit message reading, as well as a personalized feng shui birth element and gua number reading. And in that reading, you're able to find out your lucky directions for health, wealth, love, as well as spiritual growth. And lastly, remember, meditation is such a key in really about hearing yourself and understanding yourself and receiving spirit guidance. I give $50 off the Rainbow Aura Meditation Bundle for you to kickstart or cultivate your daily meditation practice. It's a 49 guided meditation with original composed solfeggio frequency music designed to harmonize or raise the vibration of every single aura layers in your auric field. And that's the enlightenment path, about working on every single aura layer. So that way you're radiant, and solvent. Remember, sovereignty is a key for your personal transformation and growth as well. So inside Embody Your Light, I help a lot of doing psychic surgery to get rid of all these lower dense vibrational frequency. So yeah, that's it. Knowing yourself, again, the 4 pillars to embody your most authentic self: knowing yourself, hearing yourself, trusting yourself, and be yourself. And that's clarity, soul and spirit guidance, sovereignty, and lastly, action and non-action. And of course, in the Aura Color path, it's about discover, activate, embody, and express. That's the path towards embody your light. So I hope to see you in my upcoming cohort of Embody Your Light. Can't wait to see who is walking this path with me this year. It's such an honor. And I hope to see you in our next episode. We are going to have a guest next episode. Actually, the next 2 episodes I will have guests on. And so next Monday I will have Jessica Drake with me on. She is the podcast host of Spiritual Hustler. I actually was on her podcast last year, as well as the September 14th, so the following Monday, I'm going to have a Embody Your Life former student, Megan, actually going to hop on live with me to talk about her personal transformation and experience after taking the Embody Your Life course. You're going to see the transformation, the inner light, how radiant she is now. So I can't wait to see you in my upcoming live podcast episode. And you're welcome to ask me any questions in the comment. I will be, reply them personally. Otherwise, I will see you inside Embody Your Light course. Okay. And for those of you who feel called to join the membership, also grab the link. It's the Aura Evolution Sanctuary membership. We are meeting this Thursday. Okay. So I will make sure that I will put all the link in the show notes as well. Have a very blissful rest of your week. Bye.